muddy mess. And we've got more rain coming. If you can hear that, my boots are squishing in the mud. And I've got the chickens in their little play run. It's pretty big, but I want to make it bigger because I feel like they will just turn this into nothing but mud if I don't make it bigger. But our little Miss Frizzle right here was attacked by a hawk. She's doing good. It didn't kill her, but it did hurt her, and it would have killed her if I hadn't gotten it off of her as fast as I did. It was just luck. But now they can't really free range because the hawks are back and they're out in force. So they have to stay in here and we have to watch them until I can get the tall T-posts and the bird netting to cover this whole play yard into an aviary to keep the aerial predators out. And on the times we can't watch them, they have to be in their little run. And it's just small for all these girls and boys. So we'll be working on that probably after this storm that's coming in this weekend. It's just going to be way too muddy and stormy and cold to work out here. But by the middle of next week, hopefully, we'll have it all done. So, it's getting to be sundown. I think the aerial predators are pretty much going to bed, just like my chickens are. I had a couple of roosters alert that they thought they saw something hanging around. So I've been out looking around. I haven't seen anything, but I'm glad that they're on hypervigilance. I don't know where she went, but I gave BG a little haircut. I guess she's smart and she's gone to bed already because it's really cold. And BG's a Polish, which means she's a crested breed, and their crest can interfere with their vision, and that's bad for all kinds of reasons, not the least of which means they can't see a predator coming. But just in general, it makes it hard for them to find their food and find their forage and stay out of the way of the hens that are higher up on the pecking order. So I gave her a little trim around the sides so she can see. The drainage issue that we're having, we're planning to fix by running drainage trenches. I'm going to run one that's going to start up here along the side of the garden, come down here, and empty way out there beyond the fence line into the pond that we're going to create for the dogs. There's already a low-lying area out in here where a lot of water stands, and so we'll just turn that into a pond. We'll put a pond liner in it. Good to go. We're also going to start up here at the top of the driveway, bring a trench down, and have it also empty into the dog pond. And as you can see, we have got deep puddles here and there and standing water all around, which makes mud, which is not fun. My plan for the fencing, I'm going to make a bigger chicken area. I'm going to open this area to the chickens, have it be fenced for them. I'm going to take this section of fencing, open it up and put it around the garden there, and then start with new fence down this way, come outside of the fence line and end down here, so that the dogs they have the ability to go all the way around the chickens, which is really ultimately what I want. But I'm also going to have to put some hardware cloth fencing, basically rabbit fencing, around the garden to keep the rabbits out of the garden. We have wild bunny rabbits living mostly over there, I think, but there's plenty of them that live in the tree lines. I want to keep the dogs out, and I want to keep the rabbits out. But I want the dogs to be able to run around the garden to keep things like raccoons from thinking they're going to go in there at night. And that'll give them, yeah, they won't have this little section here, but they'll have from that fence post all the way back to their fence line, and then all the way up and around and down. So that should be good for them, I think. Only lose maybe a 20 by 20 section, something like that. But that'll be for the chickens, and I will enclose that like an aviary all the way. It's going to take a fair amount of bird netting and T-posts, but it is doable. That is my third rooster, Bjorn. He's a cochin, a white cochin, and next to him is Babette. She is a partridge cochin. No, I won't show you that. I don't know if YouTube will allow that. And that was Miss Patty. She is the other cochin. I don't think he only chooses cochins, but that's who he's just choosing now. We did have to part with our Welsummer rooster, Foggy, because he was attacking my other cream leg bar rooster, Apollo. And Apollo is very submissive. He's actually gone to bed already. But yeah, Foggy was having none of it, and he was determined to kill him. So we rehomed Foggy because I was concerned that even if I rehomed Apollo, once Bjorn got a little older, he would do the same to him. There's Apollo. Just came out of the little run. But that's chicken life for you. Hello, Miss Patty. Miss Patty and Babette are very friendly. Cochins tend to be friendly. Well, that's not a very nice sound. That's not a very nice sound. I know. This is Emily. She is a blue Andalusian. And no, she does not lay blue eggs. She lays white eggs. And Miss Patty and Babette lay brown eggs. My blue egg layers, one is right there. That one is Hyacinth. See if I can get away from this fence and you can see her better. And she has a sister that has also gone to bed already, and her name is Violet. Wanted to show you one more thing. Living near the Amish, you learn a lot of things. And I have this Amish, as you can see from here, they hang out their laundry even in the dead of winter. Even when it was bitterly cold, that's her laundry back there. Even when it was bitterly cold and windy, they hang out their laundry. All around town, they've got their laundry out. I don't know, does it freeze? Does it not? I don't know. They're coming over Saturday night to watch a movie, so I'll ask her then, maybe if I remember. But yeah, maybe I'll try that. Because I know unless it's raining, their laundry's out every day. So that's the update from here in beautiful rural Ohio. Today is all about cleanup from last night. I don't think that sound has anything to do with last night. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. January 20th, 2023. I'll get used to that. And that is my greenhouse. At least that's what's left of it. We had a damaging straight line wind come through, lifted the greenhouse, and then rolled it a few times, and it ended up resting on the truck. The truck, which is back there. The greenhouse was right there. So it started here, lifted up, rolled into the Mustang and busted off its mirror. Did some other scratching and I think a minor dent. And then rolled again, basically cleared my car. I think it was lifted at that point again. And then rolled and rolled and then landed on top of the truck. And so my greenhouse, maybe some of it can be salvaged, but in the process it also leaned over this post for the clothesline that's cemented into the ground. I guess the ground was wet enough that it was able to tip that pole over. We've stood it back up, but it did take off the other T-post that is laying on the ground. That is part of the clothesline right there. We walked around and assessed the damage for a couple hours in the wind. We've got pieces of the structure around the dogs that was lifted off and scattered around. Chickens, I don't think, even noticed what happened because they were high and dry inside their coop. But the dogs were not pleased. They still stayed dry. Their structure stayed intact. It's just the extra stuff that Tim had done. So you can see that's kind of twisted. Get it in frame. Here, I'll turn you around. It's very twisted. And no, it was not a tornado as far as we can tell. I mean, who knows? We didn't see it. We heard it all and felt it. It was at least a straight line microburst wind. But yeah, it's taken some of the hard roofing off of the dog enclosure. Now it's just mainly tarp and canvas for now. Got pieces of it here and pieces around the other side that we have to gather now. It was worth every penny investing in that greenhouse, or that chicken coop, let me tell you. But the money invested in the greenhouse, I think, is a loss. This little coop here was sitting over here and ended up on its back over here, and I just tipped it back up and put the cover back on it because I just didn't feel like dealing with it anymore at that point. A little frisbee that acted like a frisbee last night. Hey, what you doing, Betty? What you doing? I know, we're cleaning up, I promise. I got pieces of their shelter scattered around that we have to gather up and put back together. Goodness, do not. Oh, go get her. Trying to keep the chickens from coming out here where the predators are. And she just freaked out and flew over the net because it's not up as high as it should be. Now we gotta catch her. I know, you girls are upset. Yep, stress, anxiety, I see it. It's all right. Well, you almost had her. You have to get ahead of her. Gotta get ahead of her. There you go. Because she'll go right into it. Oh, calm down, roosters. They're very concerned that you might be hurting their girl. Calm down, roosters. Is she tangled? Silly girl. It's Hyacinth. She should know better. Don't toss her. It's too high. Here, roosters, go see your girl. Here she comes. See, she's all better. Apollo. I think that might be his girl. I don't know. Can't tell. The chicken tarping, for the most part, held. Left some holes in the top and some guttering came off, but for the most part it held. I don't know what difference it really makes. Emily, what are you doing? Because it's just sopping wet everywhere, but at least it kept it from raining straight down on it, so maybe it's not quite as wet in there as it is everywhere else. But now we're going to try to see how much of this we can save, if any, and think of a different place to put it, because obviously that wasn't the right place. I don't know why. It was perfectly fine, it's perfectly level. I don't know of any other spot in the house that gets a different degree of wind. It was well constructed. Oh well.